Welcome to another series in our ongoing podcast from SR Snodgrass. I'm Lenore Seifer, the Director of Human Resources, and today I'm speaking with you, Connie Blatt, our Small Business Accounting Support Supervisor. And I'm interested today to talk to you to gain an understanding of how we support the general small businesses, ever-growing client list that we have there, and a variety of accounting and back office support. So welcome to the podcast, Connie.
Thank you, Lenore. Good morning.
It's great to have you here. Let's first learn more about you. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got your start in the profession, how long you've been here, and what your role in supporting these small business owners is?
Sure. I started my accounting career back in 2013 in public accounting, and I joined the SR Snodgrass team in 2018. In the beginning of my career, I was involved in tax, and then when our busy season slowed down, I got involved in the back of the house support system for the clients, and which included payroll and back office support. I enjoy public accounting because I get the connection with the small business owner, so that's what drives me to stay in the profession, and I want to grow my career with the small business owners.
So you're regularly working with them, then that's part of your role, right? You are a regular integral part of this part of the business.
Yes, here at SR Snodgrass, I'm involved in tax and in the back of the house support system, yes.
So that's great to hear. Thanks for sharing that. And with that kind of background and that knowledge and expertise you've gained, I'm sure that's something that really brings a comfort to the clients that you're working with, that you've seen so many different things along the way. Can you tell me a little bit about what makes our approach as a firm, the approach that we use to solve client needs, what makes that unique?
We like to think of ourselves as a part of their team and not just someone who comes in for a one-off project. We want them to feel like that they can that we're very approachable, that they can reach us wherever or whenever they need us, and we're very attentive to if they try to reach us through email or through phone. We like to get back to the client so they're not on hold, because a lot of times with your small business owners, they come across something and they need the answer now. They can't wait a week. And that's what we want them to feel like we're part of their team.
It sounds like you're giving them that personalized service that they need and that attention that they need too, just because we know how often things come up that it's like, no, I'm working on this now, not when it's convenient to someone else that's trying to help. That makes a lot of sense, and I'm sure that gives them a peace of mind too, that you're there to help them through that. So we're going to get into that a little bit more in a moment, but let's talk a little bit about the actual services that we provide to these small business owners. We mentioned, accounting, back office support, bookkeeping. Can you give us some examples of what those actually look like?
Sure. We can assist them with QuickBooks Online, or we can put them in our in-house accounting software. With the QuickBooks Online, we can do real-time, help them right now, and then our accounting software will be after the fact. Perhaps maybe they would give us their check register or their check stubs, and we would enter that in a timely basis. We reconcile bank accounts. We can reconcile other balance sheet accounts. We can do live payroll or after the fact. And with the payroll platform that I'm using, I just got an enhanced HR Pro where I can offer the small business client more options that maybe they couldn't do themselves, like creating a 401k account or writing an employee handbook. That's available on the platform that we use to provide services to our clients. We can provide financial statements or manager reports which show them key indicators of where they need to grow or where they need to cut back. We can register them in new jurisdictions for taxes. That often comes up. We can do vendor payments.
That's a lot of areas right there. Are there any other areas of expertise that we didn't hit upon yet?
Well, we can do tax compliance as well.
Okay.
So we do sales. We can report their sales tax, report their payroll taxes, prepare W-2s and 1099s, which starting last year needed to be electronically filed if you filed more than 10 of any of those forms. So that's a service we can provide. We can do regulatory reporting for workers' comp or unemployment. We can report your benefit plan. They want to know your wages and how many hours everybody worked. We can do that for you. And we can complete your tax return. We can do corporate, partnerships, trust, individuals. We offer all those services. We can also calculate your quarterly estimate, because once we have your books in order, then we know where you stand on a profit, and we can calculate how much you should pay so more of your money stays in your pocket. And we can respond to any notices you might receive. Often the states make a mistake, or the little local jurisdictions, and we can jump in and handle that problem for the client if they bring us the notice.
And as you mentioned, we are helping them in real time, because I know a lot of times those types of notices have a very short window by which you can respond, do things, whatever it may be. It also sounds too that, you had mentioned the filings that now have to be electronic for some of them. I don't remember what service that was.
W-2s and 1099s.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So that they have to be electronic. So it's what that's showing me and telling me is that you're also keeping up to date with the changes. It's your area of expertise. So therefore, the small business owners can just come to you and you keep it going and make sure that they're doing what they need to do.
Yes, that's correct, Lenore.
So that, as we mentioned, those are a lot of services that we provide. And it seems like if we're able to provide those services, one of the ways and reasons small business owners might be interested in coming to Snodgrass and working with you is that, talent. They don't need to find that talent and have that talent as part of their own in-house staff and the costs associated with it. Am I missing something on that, or do you agree with that? Like, we're part of them without them having to hire a person for a role?
Yes, that's correct. We're available for them, and they don't have to pay us benefits. We're always double-staffed, so we don't take a vacation, and we're never going to call off. And they don't have to pay payroll taxes for us. They just have their monthly accounting bill.
Absolutely. And that sounds, also how difficult we know it is too with finding the talent and making sure they're trained and everything else. So they're really able to bypass a lot of those steps then by working with you. Do you also see that your small business owners that they may choose to start working with you in a couple of areas, but as they grow, they're also kind of expanding which services they're utilizing too?
Absolutely. I've mentioned this when I've done some coffee and connections in our local town, that if you get in with us in the beginning, and maybe you can't really afford us in the beginning, you're a small business owner, and we can start small and just offer a few services, and then as you grow, we grow with you, and then we can expand the services that we offer for you, but still remain within your budget.
So Connie, you bring up a good point. You're talking about cost. And especially for small business owners, I'm sure that cost is something that they're keeping in mind much of the time. How do we compare with costs? And, especially when you can think about and talk about someone that might be a sole proprietor around the corner offering discounted services, how do we compare and compete with that?
Well, we're very efficient at our job. We have chart of accounts that we use across the board for many different small businesses to keep us from having to repeat creating a chart of accounts. So, and my team stays up to date on any of the new tax laws that are coming up, so that we can put your books in order, so that to cut off any notices that you might receive that would cost you more time in investigating your notices.
And sometimes more money with that too, I would think, so it sounds like the efficiency is really there. Also the expertise as well.
Yes, absolutely. My team stays up to date with continuing education, to stay up to date on, even with the states. The states offer classes, so we're kind of located where we're within 3 states. So we have to stay up to date on the state laws as well, not just the federal.
And I know that can be a lot in many different areas, but especially when you're talking about different jurisdictions for tax and a lot of other things like that. So you're really taking that worry from the small business owner as well, too, from trying to say, am I up to date? Am I making sure that I'm capturing this? And you're really helping them out with that part of it.
Right. And a lot of times we're more efficient than their in-house bookkeepers. So they can find that paying us an accounting bill is often smaller than paying an employee.
And you're seeing so many different examples because you're working with so many different small business owners that you're probably, if they have something coming up, they might be stressed about saying, look what we received or what we need to deal with. You've more times than not probably have already helped someone with it and have that expertise to say, we can take care of this for you. It's not a source of stress. Let's work through it.
Correct. That happens with local city taxes all the time. Clients will be in a panic when they receive a letter, but often it's a very easy fix. We just need to send a document, and then that clears up the notice.
So another question when we think about small business owners and whether they're going from in-house or doing it themselves or somebody that may have left their company, or even if they were with a sole proprietor or another company having done these services, the thought of switching who you're utilizing may feel overwhelming. How does that usually work? Any guidance you can give us to kind of show how you help ease that transition into working with them?
Sure. We bring the client into the office, or we can meet them virtually with Teams, and we take a look at what they have, and then we show them examples of reports that we have put together. I can walk them through our payroll platform. It's very easy switch. Payroll is somewhere where they panic, especially if they want to switch mid-year. We take their reports. We know what we need. We give them a list. We take their payroll reports. We upload it to our platform. So all they have to do is continue to give us the hours, or if somebody gets a raise, and we can even offer direct deposit for their live payroll, so they don't have to write the check to each employee every payroll.
That sounds great then, and that you're really helping that, because like you said, that's one area that if people are thinking about switching, that it's like, but I'm set up, that might be one of the hindrances, but it sounds like you have that covered as well then.
We do. I have a great team in place who is very knowledgeable with accounting.
And one of the things too that's kind of I've seen throughout Snodgrass is that we really work proactively and are very active with our clients to make sure we're communicating with them regularly so that there aren't any surprises for us or for them along the way. Do you agree with that too?
Absolutely. If we're working in a month for a particular client and something comes up, maybe they spent $10,000 on a piece of land and we don't know what that is. So we're fixing it and adjusting it in real time, rather than when it gets to the tax return and the tax preparer says, "What is this? You bought a building?" We would already have that on the books for you.
So it should make their year-end taxes go more smoothly too then.
Absolutely. Their books are much cleaner and they're easily prepared.
Well, that sounds like a great reason to sign up for many, I'm sure. Connie, with your history and how long you've really been working with small business owners, I'm sure that you have some stories that you could share with us about how you've really helped them in a unique situation that they may have been facing. Does anything come to mind?
Sure. We had a client who had an in-house bookkeeper for many years, and we've been involved with the QuickBooks Online, so she would reach out for assistance here and there if she needed help. But then she decided to put in her 2 weeks notice. And the market being what it is, employers are having trouble finding people to fulfill those roles. So she put in her notice. We came in because we already knew his books and how he operated. We worked in his office for 2 months until he was able to secure another bookkeeper. And then when she came aboard, we actually spent 2 days on in-house training with her at the client's office to get her up to speed. And I'm still a lifeline for her also.
I can imagine, and for the small business owner too, for having helped them out in that type of situation. So
yes, a lot of things come up with small business owners that they don't realize that they even need to do.
Correct.
Ohio has a workers' comp audit and a true-up. And we actually brought on a client through Coffee and Connections. In the same week that we brought them on, their true-up was due. She's like, "I don't know how to do this." I said, "Well, we do. We got their payroll reports and we filed them on time, so their true-up was not late."
That was a great timing overall with how that worked out.
It really was.
Well, Connie, let's dig a little bit deeper into the whole cost part, the rates, things like that. At Snodgrass, we work with a wide variety of clients, including some really big ones. Obviously, small business owners are a different type of client and have different goals, purposes, and things like that. How does our structure really help support them?
That's an excellent question, Lenore. Thank you. We like to build our rates to fit into the small business owner's budget. We want to be affordable to the small business client. We want to take the back of the office and accounting support off of their table so that they can use their hours to build their small business. And we want to grow with them.
So it sounds like you're really easing the burden for them as well, too, without having the high cost associated with what the cost would be with serving larger clients, so to speak.
Correct.
So overall, what I'm hearing is that you really get to learn your clients. You get in and learn their business. You learn where they need the support, regardless of their size, what kind of services they may need and may grow into as well. And that you're just there for them when they really need you and keep things moving. So as you mentioned, they get to keep growing their business too. So Snodgrass has many different offices. We really cover the states of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, West Virginia. Are you able to provide services to all of those locations?
Absolutely. We can provide services in all those locations.
That's great to hear. And if someone was interested in learning more, how should they do so?
They should reach out to me in my email, cblatt, BLATT, at srsnodgrass.com, and we are looking to grow our clients, and we're always excited to help a new small business owner.
That sounds great. I'd also encourage everyone to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and all of our social media platforms just to keep up with what you and your team are doing. Thanks so much for joining me here today on the podcast.
Thank you, Lenore.
For those of you who have been joining our podcast, thanks again for tuning in. As a reminder, we have offices in Pennsylvania, both in the Philadelphia area as well as the Pittsburgh area. We also have an office in West Virginia and in Ohio. However, we do service clients regularly throughout the United States. For more information, you can go to our website, www.srsnodgrass.com, to learn more, and I encourage you to follow us on LinkedIn as well.